Are we starting now? Because I
Oh
have to
yeah,
leave the radio station, which will also be like I'll have to like leave at 3:45. I don't know how long this webinar is, but if you guys could please tell me.
sure. We'll start right away. I think everyone who's supposed to join has joined. Thank you everybody for joining in. I am Dr. Surya Gautam. I'm a dentist by qualification, and I head the Doctor Integration Program at BabyChakra. Today we've got together a stellar panel of really interesting doctors. So we have two dentists, a cardiologist, and an OBGYN. But that's not all. I think these doctors have more to offer than their really important medical careers. So let me just introduce the four panelists that we have today. This event that we've conducted is based on the doctor's day that we had on the 1st of July. And we wanted to get really interesting doctors to speak to our audience. So, first, we have Dr. Deepak Namdoshi. He's a renowned critical care specialist and the director of Criticare Hospital. He's an entrepreneur, and also a very interesting part is that he's an actor who has acted in Race 2. He's also very closely associated with the IFA Foundation. Second, we have Dr. Queen Aditya. She is an OBGYN, an obstetrician and gynecologist for over 20 years. And she's also a singer. And she's been closely associated with BabyChakra as well. Dr. Rishi Kapoor, who is a dentist and very interestingly an RJ for Red FM, who is quite famous. And he's interacted with some of the top Bollywood actors that we have in India. And he's also a YouTuber. Thank you so much, Dr. Rishi. And
Thank you.
finally, we have Dr. Nimrata Bindra, who is also a dentist by profession, but a blogger by passion. She has an Instagram handle called the Momster, in which she has over 100,000, almost over 100,000 followers. And she's been giving advice on parenting to all of her followers. So, first, let me just start off with Dr. Deepak Namdoshi and ask him about his experience of being an actor as well as being closely associated with IFA. And how did that come about, Dr. Deepak? Could you tell us your journey on how this came about?
Yeah. Uh, the journey was very simple actually. Okay, practicing as a doctor in Jews scheme. Okay, before you realized you had all the who's who coming to you for treatment, and then obviously gradually you got pally with them, and majority of us doctors become like family to quite a few of our patients. So the journey started from there. So quite a few film directors, film producers used to come to me for treatment, and from there the offers came. And obviously I also used to jokingly keep on telling ke baba struggler ko mauka dijiye. Okay, so few of them took mercy on me and offered me small roles. So they're all small roles because you have to dedicate a lot of time, but the acting was a good change from what I was doing in the hospital. My branch, especially critical care, is a lot of serious patients. So you're constantly speaking thoughts about life and death, and under pressure. So this came as a very pleasant change, okay, where you're not worried about making a career over there. You just went for it as a hobby, as a passion. You're in the most relaxed atmosphere. And I was happy I got to work with Akshay Kumar, Deepika Padukone, and many more, and got to shoot in UK, in Singapore, in Turkey. So though the roles were small, I had all the hospitality and all the grace of my producers and directors to take me all over the world to shoot. It was a good kick.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Did you always have a desire to be an actor from childhood, or was it just something that came about after you became a doctor?
See, I think within the inside, all of us want to be seen on the big screen, or want to be noticed by people. That's a innate desire for majority of us. I wouldn't say I was any passionate actor or I had any acting skills at all. So whatever happened was by accident, okay, and it's a happy accident.
Great. That's a great way to put it, I guess. Thank you, Dr. Deepak. Coming to Dr. Queen, who we have next. I think she is an OBGYN and she's been a singer. So, Dr. Queen, could you tell us about that experience that you've had and that passion that you share?
Okay, first of all, a lot of people ask me whether I had any formal training ever in music. And it's a big no. Why it's a no, that I'll get into. I hail from a typical middle-class Bengali family, brought up in Kolkata. And as many of you will already be aware of that, Rabindranath Tagore has a huge, everyone in West Bengal or every Bengali follows Rabindranath Tagore very blindly. And that is supposed to be in our blood almost. So as a child, like in many parts of the South, I'm told that right from the very tender years, they are asked to start learning classical music. So similarly, in West Bengal, we were like just simply asked to start learning Rabindra Sangeet. Rabindra Sangeet, Rabindranath Tagore's huge number of songs, innumerable songs that he has there. You have book after book, and we are supposed to learn those songs. At that tender age, I don't know, many children very blindly go ahead with it. I was kind of a rebel. So because it was too heavy for a small child, like me. And though a lot of children simply being very obedient to their mother or the parents or to the family, thought, okay, I'll go ahead with it. With the proper training, I used to, beat about the bush. Today I'm not feeling well. Today I have homework. Oh, today this has happened. So I was not actually going into it, though my mother tried her level best. And then finally I gave it up. She gave up that no, this girl is not going to sing. So the biggest part is that now that my school pals, the people with whom I was there till class 12, now when they hear that I'm singing, they're totally, what? This girl and singing. I was always a very good student. So yeah, okay, academics part of it was fine. But singing is something that nobody ever associated with me. So what happened is that and the other thing is that I used to find Rabindra Sangeet very nice, but very heavy for me. At the same time, I had this huge passion for Bollywood music. But belonging to a conservative Bengali family, it was a big no-no. I was not allowed to, pursue is a far off question. I was not encouraged to hear even that kind of music. But people who grew up at the time that I did, so in the 80s, suppose the school days in the 80s in West Bengal, in Kolkata, in those days, there was a loudspeaker culture. We have Durga Pujas, we have so many pujas throughout the year. And at every club in every neighborhood, there was the loudspeaker that would go on till 12 at night. Later on, much later, the band started on the loudspeaker. But during our formative years, during our school days, the loudspeaker was very much a part of our culture, and there all the Bollywood music used to play. So though my parents did not encourage me to hear any songs, did not let me watch any movies, I knew almost because I was a good student anyway. So whatever I heard on the mic, I knew all of the songs by heart. So it was inside me, but no one let it come out. Right. So that's how it that was the end of that story. Now, when I joined medical college, then a few of my friends, it so turned out, had a similar passion in music. And now that you're in college, you are a little bit of a free bird, not totally obedient to what, the family is telling you. So then that's the first time that two of my classmates, two guys of my class, they caught me humming once or twice. Why don't we perform on stage together? So during college fests and internal college functions and the inter-college fest, there I started performing with them. Not only that, at that time there was the Antakshari culture also a lot in West Bengal. Inter-college fest, apart from the other whatever things they had, other competitions they had, there was a lot of Antakshari competition. And three of us together formed a team, and we were the inter-college champions at that time. Because of whatever I picked up from the mic during my school days, that helped me, So it started from that Antakshari as well as, singing in college fest. So it started from there, but after that, it was a total lull for several years. Last 5-6 years, for 7-8 years, I have been singing properly on stage with orchestra and all several times.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Doctor. I think the loudspeaker culture at your college helped you become the singer that you are today.
Yes.
So before we move on, I think Dr. Deepak has a surgery at 3:30. Obviously, he's a very busy surgeon. So I'm just going to finish up 5 rapid fire questions with Dr. Deepak before he leaves, and then move on to the rest of our panelists. Dr. Deepak, are you ready for the 5 questions that I have for you?
The 5 questions, but my video is showing it's disabled by the host. So I'm not able to on the.
Could someone from our team check that, please? Nana, if you can.
Can you check turning on the video, Dr. Deepak, now?
Yeah, I'll try it again. Yeah, better. Right. So, chalo, give me the rapid fire.
Okay, doctor, the first question. Are there any childhood celebrity heroes that you've grown up watching and you've actually treated them? Who was that person who were...
Yeah, so, Mr. Bachchan, obviously, I grew up and had the opportunity to treat him. He inaugurated one of my hospitals. So, was fortunate enough to be closely associated with him.
Okay, brilliant. I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
Second, I think you have a very busy career. You're an entrepreneur, you're a doctor, you're an actor. How is it? What are the challenges of you being a father and managing all of these things together? How was that when you were in your career?
Yeah. See, I think it was not as sounds when you put everything together, because you don't do everything the same day. So with good time management and a good team together, care has been a very growing chain, and with a team of more than 1,000 people working with me, there are many helping hands who see to it that my day-to-day working is as per what I want as my schedule. So I get enough time for my children as well as for passion for acting. So I keep on telling all my directors and producers, just give me an appointment, kabhi aana hai, patients so I can manage. You don't worry about that. Okay.
Great. So third one, what is the one milestone in the life of Criticare Hospital since 99 that you are most proud of, doctor?
Yeah, so just now recently we acquired a 250-bed hospital at Kurla. Okay, so till now also Criticare was well recognized, but now we went into a more bigger league, okay, where we are handling a 250-bed setup, which can be expanded to 400 beds. So it's like a big 2 lakh square feet corporate hospital. So I felt that as an individual doctor to achieve that without any kind of external help, no other financial partners or anything, I felt it was a reasonably big achievement in my life.
Absolutely. Congratulations on that, doctor. You being a leading cardiologist, in life, do you lead with your heart or do you lead with your mind?
With my mind.
Okay, final question.
My profession demands only the mind. Okay.
Final question. I think this is very easy. Do you have any upcoming movie projects that we should look forward to?
Immediately, no, nothing.
Okay, sure.
There
Thank you
are
so.
Couple, but nothing. Yeah.
Okay. We will look forward to them. I think once we get that, all of us will definitely go to the theaters and catch a glimpse of you on screen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak.
It's been wonderful. I would have liked to listen to Dr. Rishi Kapoor. He's one of my favorites on radio, but I think work will not allow me. So Dr. Rishi Kapoor will continue hearing you on radio. Nice
Thank you,
to see
doctor. I've got treated at Criticare myself in the past. So I'm definitely going to come see you because we'll talk non-work stuff. So yes. Like,
Sure.
Yes,
I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God give you more traffic.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Deepak. Now moving on to our RJ, who's a dentist. I think I'm way more interested because I myself am a dentist who chose not to be a dentist after. So, doctor, you practice right now as well, is it?
So I am actually consulting with an oral surgeon, and I only do the cases that I want to do because, as you would know, that our work is pretty much like a barber's work. कोई chair पे बैठेगा नहीं तो काम होगा नहीं. So what happens is, if I'm working all day on patients and then going for a radio show, I'm physically so tired that I can't do a full-fledged practice. But it's been fun. I usually tell people that dentistry is from the teeth and radio is from the vocal cords, so they're pretty close. They're pretty close.
Very interesting. So, doctor, I think I've read a couple of articles about you, and you always had a knack for public speaking, is what I presume. You were the one who always raised your hand in class, and you used to answer questions. So, when did you take that leap of faith and jump into radio as a career path?
But for the rest of the panelists, firstly, I'm not Gujarati. I only look like Falguni Pathak. So what happened is, while I was finishing my dentistry from St. George Hospital, GDC, I think in 2005 we were finishing our dental courses, and that time radio wasn't boom. I don't know agar aapko yaad hoga. There used to be a click radio, like outside the railway station or something. You could buy a 60 rupees click radio, click, and all these new radio stations, private radio stations were coming up, and it was a booming business. And I was the one who used to compare shows in college and stuff, and people thought I was funny. I thought I was funny, and I used to listen to the radio, and I think maybe if I ever got a chance, this would be a good thing to do. And that time, Radio Mirchi from the Times Group used to do RJ hunts every year. So every year they used to interview people across the city. And in 2006, I went there. I used to see people coming with scripts and laptops, and I used to just go from St. George Hospital with a lab coat on my shoulder. And presumably they loved what I said. And then I started, I won that RJ hunt, started interning with them, sort of doing the late night show, the weekend show, and eventually become a full-time RJ.
Okay. So during your college itself, you had tried your hand with culturals and all,
Yes.
is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's people usually tell me, have you done a course for radio, etc. You cannot do a course for radio. You can do a course for radio, but there are some parts of radio that have to be inbuilt into your mind, because radio is not about speaking, it's about how you think.
Yeah.
It's about, there's a piece of content in front of you and how you're going to present it in your own style. It's the same news for every RJ, but everyone will do it in a different way, because everybody brings their personality out the table. So that's where education as a dentist never goes waste, because I am a lot more smarter and sharper than any other RJs, at least I would presume, because the grasping power just increases. So if anybody turns around and tells me, "Are tune government hospital ki seat waste kar di," so I tell them, no, it's not true. It's made me the person I am.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Rishi. Moving on to our blogger and influencer. I think she's a macro influencer on Instagram, Dr. Nimrata Bindra. So, Dr. Nimrata, you were also a dentist, and how did you come about becoming an influencer on Instagram, and when did that journey start off for you?
So, before I start talking about my journey, when BabyChakra approached me for this panel, I'm like, are you serious? I mean, did you read the other names or not? I'm like, not even close. I've been listening to RJ Rishi Kapoor since my college days, when I was traveling all the way to Nerul and back. And I have worked in Dr. Namdoshi's Criticare in Juhu as a dentist. I was handling his clinic there. And I was like, are you sure my name is with them? I'm not supposed to be the host, or probably. She said, no, we need you. We want you. I said, okay. So I'm doing something right in my life. And other than, I am not a part-time dentist. I'm a full-time dentist. So I'm working like 10 hours in the clinic. I'm still in clinic. And I'll come back again at 5. So my clinic is a full-fledged running clinic, and I'm doing influencing by the side. But I was pregnant with my son, which was my second baby. And that time someone told me, yaar, you are wasting your talent. You're just doing dentistry. There's so much more that you can do. And that's when I started exploring Instagram. And in 6 months, I don't know what happened and where I reached, but today I am better known as the momster than Dr. Nimrata Bindra. I go to a party, I go to a club, people actually point out and say, oh my God, you're that one who has a naughty son, or you're that one whose daughter dances in a particular way. And it's another feeling, because to be known by two identities at an age of 35, I feel I've achieved what I was set out to do.
Wow, that's really inspirational. Thank you so much for saying. And also, I think being a mom, handling your dentistry, and being an influencer, I think you are really
Two
pulling
kids.
off.
The toughest task in all of this is 2 kids who are, one is a toddler and one is like a preschooler, and both of them are crazy. They are like crazy kids.
Oh, we can imagine at BabyChakra, we've seen quite a few of them. Okay, perfect. So I think next I'm going to move on to the 5 questions that we've curated for each of our panelists right now. I'd like to start with Dr. Queen. Dr. Queen, can we start off? Shisha?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, perfect. So Dr. Queen, the first question for you, how has your singing helped you in your professional life as a gynecologist and obstetrician, or has it?
It really has big time, because in OBGY, there's so much of stress, which is very understandable. No hour, no nothing, always on tenterhooks. There can be postpartum hemorrhage, there can be an abruption, something or the other going on. So stress, as far as the professional life is concerned, is, that high. And on the personal front, also, I'm going through a lot. I'll just give you a little bit of that, because after marriage, I went to Delhi and I was practicing there for 15 years. But then I'm the only child to both of my parents, and both of them were very, very unwell. I tried to bring them to Delhi. They did not stay with me. They did not like to, shift to a different city. So finally, I took the call, and with my daughter, I shifted to Kolkata for some 6 years back. And so both of them are totally bedridden. So I'm managing them. The kid is away from the father, who keeps coming once in 2 months or so. So I'm having a lot to handle at home. Both my parents currently are totally bedridden. Like one is paralyzed, another is almost terminal. So I'm going through all of that. And then the stress at work is always there as an OBGY. So with the sky high amount of stress, so my only stress buster is actually my singing. Even during the surgery, once, suppose I'm doing a stay, something, once the baby is out and I'm closing, and then subconscious level, I keep singing. I don't know. Later on, I've found out, second, when I'm going for the rounds, my patient has told me, "Doctor, you sing so well." I said, "When did you hear that?" I'm not even aware that I kept singing while I was doing it. And the patient, because of the spinal anesthesia, has heard it. Even during a hysterectomy or something, most of my patients have heard me singing, and they tell me the next day. Their family members, later on when they come for their visits, then they say, "Doctor, we've heard." Then they look up YouTube and find out my some videos that I have uploaded up there. And they say, "Doctor, we can't believe it that amongst all the several talks you have uploaded, there are quite a few songs also." And some of them have been uploaded by other people, not by me at all. So that's how lots of people have heard me when I was not even aware. So what I'm trying to say is that subconsciously I'm singing at times.
So it's always been helping you in your profession. It's there in the background. You have a musical background that goes on all the time in your profession as well. So in these times of stress, doctor, do you have like one song which gets you out of that stress? That's my second question, actually. A great segue to my second question.
Yeah, a very favorite song of mine is the Rishi Kapoor number, Jeevan ke din chote sahi.
Okay.
Bade dil wale.
She should sing it for us. We want to hear her sing.
Definitely. We will definitely we'll close this session with one musical performance by Dr. Queen. That's what we have said. Okay. So third, doctor, do you have any musical instrument that you've really been interested in learning or been in awe of?
I am in awe of a lot of them, but I have not learned anything as of now. A little bit of the keyboard I'm able to manage on my own. Because that is from the Bengali background. Harmonium with the, Rabindra Sangeet came the harmonium. Yeah, so my mother tried teaching me that. Along with that, I'm able to manage the keyboard to some extent. Okay.
So the last two questions on your professional aspect. So as an OBGYN, what was the most heartwarming experience that you've had, doctor? I know there should be many, but one, if you could
it's very difficult to pinpoint one. Like in many, because this situation has a near miss, maternal near miss of a death. And so many times from that situation, when we have been able to save the patient, and finally, if all is well, there have been innumerable such situations. So I think each one of them, we as the entire team and the patient, we come out victorious, and life, becomes victorious, and we have been able to conquer the worst. So I think that challenge that we face very frequently, unfortunately, in so many cases, it does keep coming. But whenever we emerge victorious, that is the most triumphing. That's a huge triumph. That's correct.
Oh, that's perfect answer. And finally, in this age when we are, even at BabyChakra, we talk about equal parenting and sharing responsibilities between the father and the mother. So what is the one parenting trip that you would give for all the people who are watching us today?
Today's life, we are extremely busy. There is no two ways about it. Most of the families, both the parents are professionally occupied, and the mother is also very busy. In my case, I'm managing alone. And I'm sure there are so many other mothers also, because of the work, because of family situations, have to be away with the child alone. But no matter what we do, we have to give ample time. Not
Time.
only quality, but also some amount of quantity is also required. Like just quality time, a little bit of quality time is also not good enough. We need to give some amount of quantity along with the quality. So that is personal time to the child is also very, very important.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Dr. Queen. Okay, then moving on to Dr. Rishi Kapoor. I think I have quite a few interesting questions to ask Dr. Rishi based on the
Cool.
answer that I just said.
Yes.
So first, I think Formula One. I think it's an important, very interesting sport, and you were also, it's one of your favorite sports, is what I presume.
Yes.
And
it
I
is.
know that Schumacher is your number one, is what I assume. But who's next? I think Sebastian Vettel is just retired.
Yeah.
So right now, who is the next in your list of the top Formula One drivers?
When I speak Formula One in India, people think it's Latin or German or whatever. They don't understand it. But I'm glad you know about Sebastian Vettel retiring. Charles Leclerc is my favorite. He's a Ferrari driver. Very, very young, very passionate, very, very skillful. So yeah, I'm rooting for him. It looks difficult this year, but I'm rooting for him.
Okay, perfect. Then I think also you really like sitcoms. What's the sitcom that you're watching right now?
The sitcom, I'm not watching a sitcom right now, but I'm into a lot of web series. We watch a lot of content to make a lot of content. But I can tell you one sitcom that not a lot of people have seen, but they should see. It's a show called Frasier. Frasier is about a doctor who's on radio. It's just a coincidence that it happens to be somewhat like my story, but he's a psychologist, psychiatrist on a shrink on radio, and it's really, really funny. If you've not seen it, आप जो भी मुझे इस वक्त सुन रहे हैं, please get a hold of it wherever you can and watch it right away.
Frasier.
Frasier.
Okay, which platform is it on, Doctor?
I've seen it way back in the day when you had to see it on TV. But if you've not seen it, all the doctors I'm telling you right now, please watch Fraser. Frasier.
Frasier.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So you would have been asked to play a lot of songs on radio. But what are these songs which you hate when people ask? Like, you just hate it. Why am I even playing the song?
I never listen to radio when I'm in my car because, it's like bringing your work home. So I listen to songs without any lyrics, like, your OSTs, your soundtracks from movies, or whether it's dubstep, hip hop, or whatever, drum and bass and etc. So I listen to a lot of that, and so many people, who are in the car with me, is like, "Arey, गाना खत्म हो गया?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ, पर इसमें तो कोई गाया ही नहीं." So I always tell them there's so many lyrics in my this thing, and when I go there and people tell me, when I go somewhere, I'll tell you the most funny thing that happens with me. So wherever I have stopped going to marriages, because whichever marriage I go, Sangeet tu host kar de, and that happens a lot to us. Like, we don't want to work. We've come to a marriage. We want to eat, have fun, and go. And one of the times when I was at a marriage, somebody told me walked up to me and said, "Please announce kar dega ki khana chalu ho gaya." Why should I do that? Just take the mic and say खाना शुरू हो गया, लेफ्ट पे जाइए और खा लीजिए. नहीं, तू बोलेगा तो अच्छा लगेगा. So that's what happens is we never carry our work home. People like, अरे तू radio नहीं सुनता? I'm like, that is work for me. I can't listen to it like any other normal human being.
Okay. So if not, okay, I think this is a long shot of a question. If not a YouTuber or a dentist or an RJ, what other paths that you had in mind for your life to be?
I've always wanted to become a very fun-based car or mobile reviewing person, because I feel an RJ's strength is mixing humor or entertainment with any kind of information. If you see a lot of YouTubers reviewing cars, etc., a lot of people came up on COVID and started doing a lot of reviews, etc., which I have also, by the way, jinko nahi pata hai, I have a YouTube channel called Paisa Tera Baap Dega. The name is called Paisa Tera Baap Dega because when I recommend cars and phones and laptops and headphones to people, they say, "Iska paisa tera baap dega." Recommend to tumhe. So the idea is to do a fun show that happens to be talking about tech and gadgets, and we've just started. We're just garnering some footfall into that. I'm going to ask, Dr. Nimarta to give me a shout out sometime because she's already established in that space. So kudos to her. And it's just crazy, where life takes you. Dentistry to radio to now social media is so huge. And we're trying to do a lot of fun things. So if I want to become the Jeremy Clarkson of India, who's the lead car reviewer of the world.
Okay. Awesome. So I think one final question. This is on my list. I have to ask it. Who's your celebrity crush currently? Please tell us one.
Celebrity crush. Amongst the one I've met or I haven't met?
I think that's your call. You could choose.
Okay. So a lot of celebrities have been very kind to me. Bachchan Saab, once I was to interview Rishi Kapoor, the actor Rishi Kapoor, the late actor Rishi Kapoor, and when Bachchan Saab just walked in and said, "Are ye Rishi Kapoor hai? Aap bhi Rishi Kapoor hai. Inhe sunta hu main." So what I did is I took the whole interview, but I never played the whole interview. I just played Bachchan Saab's voice saying, "Inhe sunta hu main." So a lot of celebs have been very kind. Ranbir Kapoor touches my feet and says, "Ye mere papa ji hain." I think if I do, who's my celebrity crush? That's quite a dodger. I think my celebrity crush would be right now. It can always be Juhi Chawla. I remember one of my Sushmita Sen. Sorry, yes. My surname is not Modi, but I still like her. Sushmita Sen was one of the first people I interviewed, and I remember I was 21 years old. I hugged her. I didn't sleep all night. Ki yaar, Miss Universe ko gale laga liya. So yes, that will always be there. Sorry.
Yeah. Awesome. I think great answer. Thank you so much, Dr. Rishi.
Yes.
Dr. Numarta, I think your 5 questions are with me right now. I'll just ask you them as well. Dr. Numarta?
Yes, I'm ready to take them.
Okay, perfect. So I think you've had more than 2,000 posts on Instagram, right? More than 2,500 if I'm not wrong.
See, even though I'm like at 100K, I mean, almost there, I know people who are much higher in number, but have much fewer posts. So I don't know what's with me and with posting on Instagram, but yes, you're right. I'm like out there. I do nearly 2 to 3 posts a day.
Oh, that's amazing. I think it also matters. The frequency of how much you post matters a lot.
So it's become consistent now. So yes.
So what's the most fun post that you've recently worked on? A great idea that you had?
So anything that we do with my son is like a laughter riot because he does not follow scripts. He's 2 years. He does not follow scripts, but brands are very particular about what they want the child to do. So we have the videographer who comes and does it for us. And Aman has been doing this gummy dance lately. And the gummy dance has a step where you go and hit someone or the gummy hits the floor. So every time we need him to do something, we play the gummy song. And he's been hitting the videographer left, right, and center, sitting on him, jumping on him, bouncing on him. So we have all that footage and we're going to make this whole blooper reel, which is going to come out pretty soon. So it's too much fun because my kids are very, very interactive with the camera. So every time we shoot, it's not work. It's like having loads of fun.
Okay, awesome. So in this multitasking role that you have, Dr. Numarta, what's the support system that you have? And
so it has to be my family, particularly my in-laws and my husband, because there are times I'm coming back from work at 11:30 in the night. I don't even know what dinner my kids have had or what time the child slept because I'm so busy at work, but I've never got a hysterical call, what are you doing at work? Come home. Or I have the videographer coming home nearly 3 to 4 times a week for brand shoots. And my mother-in-law is patiently sitting. She's even asking the videographer, "Beta, kuch khaya tumne? Ye to pura din tumse shoot karati rahegi." And they are such wonderful people that it's because of them I can pursue 2 professions. And of course, my patients too, because there have been times when I've given an appointment at 7 o'clock, but I am at an event at 6. And the patient is calling me and saying, "Ma'am, aapka story dekha, ab abhi tak Worli mein ho, to main aadhe ghante ke baad aata hu, aap 7:30 tak aa jao, koi baat nahi." So it's that accommodating that everyone around me has been. So it's only because of that support that I can multitask.
Okay, great. Lucky that you have such a great support system. So next 3 questions are focused on Instagram. So I think there's a current debate on whether could you mute your mics, please, other participant? Thank you so much. Yes, Dr. Numarta. So right now there's a current argument whether Instagram is turning into a TikTok. So what do you think about that?
So the problem is Instagram still happens to be very confusing. I'm still not sure what is working for me. Sometimes I thought your videos are doing great. Someday reels are doing great. Someday static posts are doing great. Okay, I think, okay. Someday algorithm is something that I understand today. But now what the latest update that happened yesterday was that reels and videos have come under the same tab. So now you no longer have the horizontal so अगर मैं जो रोज इंस्टा पे रहती हूँ and I'm dealing with it every day, if I'm confused, how are laymen supposed to work with it? So TikTok was a lot of fun. TikTok was just picking up something like dub smash TikTok. There were many things that came. आपने एक छोटा सा ऑडियो उठाया, आपने कुछ फनी बनाया. But now we are also using reels for business. It's no longer a fun कि हमने वो 15 सेकंड का वीडियो बनाया and everyone is laughing about it. So हमारे लिए to put branded content at the same time as we are putting organic content and expect brands are expecting कि भाई आपके वो बेटे के वीडियो पे 100 के व्यूज आए थे, हमारे साइकिल के वीडियो पे नहीं आए या हमारे डायपर के वीडियो पे नहीं आए. So it's very difficult for an influencer to bridge the gap between organic and branded content and bringing it all together and giving equal weightage to both. So Instagram does get confusing, but yeah, you need to find your way.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we're running out of time, so I just want to get closing comments from all the panelists, starting with Dr. Rishi and then Dr. Numata. Finally, a song from Dr. Queen is what we're thinking we'll close off. So, Dr. Rishi, any closing comments that you have to send to the doctors who are a part of this audience that we have right now? Doctor, you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Hope I don't make that mistake on radio. But yeah, I'm so proud of being a part of this fraternity. And I'm really sorry, my naukri wala aadmi, so I have to run to the radio station. But parting comments I want to say that all you doctors, when you go beyond your first line of duty, there's a certain love you follow, which is always there for your medical professional as well. But when you go beyond this call of duty and you take up something new, it is such a big challenge that people don't realize. Pehle itni padhai karo, get a degree, set up a clinic, set up a practice. And then when you go for this, there is some part of your personality that needs to be completed when you do this. And big kudos to everybody who's handling this. You guys are such talented, amazing people. I've had such a fun experience today being a part of such an amazing. And I love you guys to the moon and back, and keep doing the work, because the mark that you leave lays the foundation for the ones who come. And that is so formal. I never sound so Sida Sada, but that's me. I'm going to bow out now. Thank you, Surya. You've done such a fab job. I hope Nasim gets well very soon. And I hope to see all you guys at the radio station as my personal guests to see the radio station. Looks like a plane's cockpit.
I'm waiting for your call or message.
No. This is after the shout out, Dr. Nimarta. This is after the shout out.
Today only shout out is going out today.
The name of the channel is Paisa Tera, the Baap Dega. Like, share, subscribe, bell icon. हम भी YouTube वाले बन गए, ये सब बोल लेते हैं. Thank you, Surya.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rishi.
Thank you guys.
Dr. Nimarta, can we get your closing comments?
So my parting comment only has to be for those moms out there who are stuck in a zone wherein guilt takes over and they're not able to do things that they have my page. There is no agency. I'm doing it all by myself, and I have a full-fledged running dental practice. So guys, it's really simple. If you put your heart and soul, you can achieve anything you wish to. So don't stop. Go out there and keep killing it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nimarta. Indeed, I think that the comments on the mothers who are taking up so much responsibility, of course, is definitely true. Thank you so much. And Dr. Queen, your final comments, and we would definitely, all of us are waiting to hear you sing the song and close this for us.
Yeah, since I don't have a live band right now, I'll just have to manage with my own voice. The message is that, as Dr. Rishi has mentioned, that yes, it's great that beyond your actual calling, if we are able to take up something else as a stress buster, and whether we turn that into a profession or keep that as a second line, any day if we want to, we have something else that we can actually take up. So that's a great idea. And for me, it's a stress buster. I never thought of it as a way of earning money. Not required as of now. If ever required, I'll think of that as well. But always there's something else to fall back on. if needed or if you want to do so. So that is there. And all of us, and I'm sure there are many more of us who are doing more than one thing at a time. And I'm kudos to them all and best wishes to them all. So that's what I would like to say. If you want to hear 2 lines, if you seriously want to, then without any live band playing, I'll just try.
Oh, please, please. All of us are waiting to hear.
Two lines of 2 of my very favorite songs. One is, last night I dreamt of San Pedro, just like I never gonna knew the song. Young girl with eyes like the desert. It all seems like yesterday, not on me. Tropical the island breeze, all of nature one and free. This is where I long to be. Nice love bonita. And when something, the sun would set so high, ring through my ears and sting my eyes. Your Spanish lullaby. This is one of my very favorite numbers, childhood memories. And another, also the same time period. हर किसी को नहीं मिलता यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी में खुश नसीब है वो जिनको है मिली ये बहार जिंदगी में हर किसी को नहीं मिलता यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी होठों से होठ मिले ना पले चाहे मिले ना बाहें बाहों से दो दिल जिंदा रह सकते हैं चाहत की भरी निगाहों से चाहत की भरी निगाहों से हर किसी को नहीं मिलता यहाँ प्यार जिंदगी में प्यार जिंदगी में. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Queen. That was amazing. I'd like to thank Dr. Deepak and Rishi who've left the chat for their work as well, Dr. Namatta, Dr. Queen. All of our participants who've joined us. This has been fantastic for me to host and interact with such amazing medical professionals. I think generally when people think of doctors, they think a very serious white coat person who doesn't have a lot of fun. But I think we've gotten 4 doctors who've proven all of that completely wrong. This has been absolutely wonderful for me to host. Thank you to everybody who was a part of this. And thank you so much. And
thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm thanking BabyChakra too for having us here.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys soon.